Nobody wants to see the sausage made, but everybody loves the sausage. Welcome everyone to Rosin Reads. My name is Nick, and today I'm going to be looking at On Target, book number 2 in the Gray Man series. If you want to pick this book up or start at book 1, I'll have links in the description below. You can also check out my review of book 1. I'll have a card right here. And if you haven't watched my first video on this series, book number 1, The Gray Man, is being adapted to Netflix's biggest budgeted film, starring Ryan Gosling and Chris Evans, directed by the Russo brothers. So I'm pretty excited about this series. There's 11 books in this series, and today we're going to be looking at book 2. Disgraced former CIA agent Court the Gray Man Gentry makes ends meet as an assassin working for clients he cannot trust. Russian arms merchant Sidorenko wants Court to kill Sudan's president Aboud, arguably the man responsible for the genocide in Darfur. The CIA makes a counteroffer: kidnap Aboud and give him to American officials in exchange for amnesty. Court cannot refuse and treks through Sudan in pursuit of nebulous, ever-changing goals. Every element in this book is familiar, but Court is endearing in his ever-perseverance, even as his schemes are undermined by sympathetic victims. Misleading information, outright lies, poor planning, betrayal, conflicting agendas, and simple bad luck. What could have been a storm of cliches becomes an action-filled yet touching story of a man whose reasons has long ago been subsumed by his work ethic. This book is another gripping installment in the series, and Mark Greaney picks up right where he left off following around Court Gentry. It's failed plan after failed plan after failed plan. It's frustrating, but it's also the reason you can't put this book down. There's also a very frustrating character in this book that has no sense of self-preservation. It's actually quite comical, and I found myself laughing multiple times when I probably shouldn't have been. This book does everything it sets out to do. It gives us plenty of good Court Gentry one-liners and quips. If something can go wrong, it will go wrong. And there is a geopolitical aspect in this book that's much greater than the plot devices in the first book. I feel like Gentry has to face a lot more difficult decisions in this book besides just killing bad guys like he did in the first book. And I think it makes for a much more compelling novel than book 1, although book 1 was great, had that Bourne Identity feel. This one has more of a global feel to it. In this story, Gentry is forced to think about the consequences of killing bad men. It's not always as simple as that, and it might not solve problems the way Court thinks it does. The political implications to every decision Court makes in this book couldn't be laid out more perfectly, and as the reader it makes for, I think, a more suspenseful novel than the first book did. Aside from the main plot in this book, Mark Greaney leaves us a little bit more breadcrumbs from the first novel of why Court got burned by the CIA, and you can see a theme building that book after book we're going to learn a little bit more about that. In this story we get to meet some people from Court's old team, including Zach Hyman, and we see the threads of something greater spinning here for more books in the series to come. I would say out of the first 2 books, I probably enjoyed this one a little bit more, but both books are great. Overall, this is a great second installment to the series, and one you should definitely read if you're into spy thrillers, espionage, or say you like James Bond movies or Mission Impossible movies. And like I said in the beginning of this video, The Gray Man, which is book 1 in this series, is being adapted to the screen, and I hope the first film does really well so we get to see On Target also made into a film. I hope Gosling really makes this role as his own. I know this was a short one today, guys, but I really don't want to give anything up. There's so much action in this book. It's a page turner. You won't want to put it down. I really suggest picking this one up. And again, I have a link in the description below if you do want to buy this book. And that's all for today, folks. And if you like this content, please subscribe for more. Thanks for watching.